Okay, so over the next few days, we're going to talk about how computers store information. How is it that a machine can hold and remember information? Here's a picture of a punch card. This is a piece of paper, stiff paper, with some holes cut into it. That would be slid into a computer from maybe the 50s or 60s or even 70s, and the computer has an array of little pins that can sense if there is a hole through the paper or there isn't a hole through the paper. And by using that sensor, the computer could receive information, sort of like how you provide information to your programs using a keyboard. So you can see that it's all just a bunch of numbers. Now, computers can hold more than just text, right? Your cell phone is a computer. It can hold all kinds of things: sounds, images, um, video, statistics, numbers, words. How does it hold all of that? So the key behind this is the idea of memory. And what we have here is a picture of some very early RAM. And it's very little RAM compared to what we're used to today. This is 1 kilobyte of, of memory. Now, if you look closer at it, you can see these little chunks of iron, and what's happening here is that the iron is being magnetized. And so you can magnetize um, one of these rings or cores of iron by passing an electrical current between, say, this wire and this wire, and that'll magnetize this core. And then you can go back and by using uh, different wires, you can actually read whether it's magnetized or not magnetized. And so that was a way of kind of retaining information. But how does it actually use these little bits, these little tiny magnets to store information? So each magnet represents 1 bit of information. So you can say it's magnetized or one way or it's magnetized the other way. And this represents a 1 or a 0. And so if you take another look at the memory, you can say that each one of these little cores represents a 1 or a 0. And in this case, there's 32 across and 32 down. And 32 times 32 is 1024. So you have 1024 of these little numbers that you can use. But how do you use that to store video, for example? That is what we will be looking at over the next few days. So today's memory looks more like the picture that you see here. This is an image from an electron microscope because, of course, circuits and computers have shrunken and become more and more dense over time. So these are sort of the equivalent of what you saw earlier.